Hi guys, welcome to this session in Microsoft Excel. In this module, I want to show you how you can use database functions such as DSUM and daverage on a list. Now, if I add a filter to this list, if I just go and put the filter on, just a basic filter, and before I do anything, if I just get to the bottom there and do sum, which is Alt equals, that's the key command for sum. So there we go. Alt equals, comes up with a total at the bottom, 546,000, and so on. And if I just pull that across for the age column, I'll widen that a little bit. Now the problem with this is if I filter this, say for female, if I go to that column and select male off, okay, that's still showing me the total figure at the top. Now, obviously that isn't the same. If I highlight that and look down here, that is not the same formula that I need, because that's picking up only half of the people. If I bring this back so everybody's there, like so. So there's a couple of ways of doing this. I don't want to be doing that. So what you would do is, if I put a filter on, this quick way of doing it, I need to use the subtotal function. So I'll just do that again. And then when it's already filtered, if I do Alt equals again, it doesn't do the sum function. It does the subtotal function, like so. You've got a 9 there, basically giving you the indication that this is a sum. If I tick that, that will give me the sum of this filtered data. If I open that up and put males back on, then that will show me everything. Now, depending on the number you use, if I pull that across, that's going to give me the sum as well. I don't want that to be formatted to pounds, so I'll just knock that off. This is going to be general. So that, if I do a 1 there instead of 9, it will be a different formula altogether. So I'll just type this one out because you'll see it come up. Equals subtotal. Press my tab key to get the bracket, and then it comes up with a list of numbers. So 1 is the average. So I'll go 1, comma, and then I'll select the list. So that's the functions you should use if you're going to do a filtered list like this. And then that gives you the average. Now what's this at the top? This is all about doing advanced filters on this list. Rather than just doing 1 or 2 items in a list, you can do multiple items. You can do 3 or 4 like this. So if I apply the advanced filter, which is on the data tab, and if I go across to the filter area, you've got advanced filters there, and if I click on that, it will come up with this box which has already been filled in. So the list range is this area, the whole thing. The criteria range is just this area here. Now there has to be a gap, a blank line in between the two tables, which there is, like so. Now only unique records, I could tick that. Copy to a new location. If I tick that, it will put it to wherever I put my cursor. So I'll put my cursor up there and then click OK and see what it does. So it's copied it across like so. That's the information. If I delete this criteria off and then just do that again, just leave everything the same, copy to that location, OK, it's going to go over the top of it and drop everything in there. Now people get quite excited about the filter function as it being a new function, which it is good. But if I go here and do the filter function, I'll just color that in and give myself a little list. So I'll go data, validation, there it is. And I'll do a manual list. So I'll just do AA, you do a comma, AO, comma, EO. And that'll be my list, and I'll select that list, I'll select an item. So the filter function, I've got the AA set there. If I copy these titles, just highlight these, and I'm going to move them and use my control key to copy them. Control key down, little plus on the mouse, let go, copied instead of just moving. Now if I do the filter function equals filter, press my tab key to get the bracket, so I'm looking at this table, the blue area, doing a comma, and then if grade, this column grade, the blue area, is equal to what I've got in this orange cell, do the filter. So if I tick that, it should drop the information in as it does there. If I change that around, AO, you get a different list. So that's a new function, or newish. So this is exactly the same. If I go for AO, let's see what happens if I try that now. AO, copy to a different location, OK. So it hasn't picked that, because what I have to do is I would have to do, the way I've set this up, because there's 3 inquiries, I'd have to have AO down there 3 times like that. Now this should now just do the AOs, and that's because the area, which I'll show you in the advanced bit, I'll just copy that again, this area, the criteria range, is those cells down to row 4, so you have to fill it in, otherwise it shows you everything. But now if I click on this, it does the filter for me and just shows me exactly the same as the filter function. Now another thing you can do is what's called database functions. So I did the subtotal function down the bottom here, but I could do up the top here, I could do DSUM. So first thing I've done is cleared this off, and now I'm going to do the DSUM function. So it's equals DSUM. Press tab to get the brackets, asking for the database. Well, I've called this area database. It's called database, comma, it wants the field. I'm going to do it on the salary column. So you put salary in quotes like that, and then the criteria is this top area, which is nothing there at the moment, like so. So if I tick that, it comes up with the total figure, which is the same as that one down there, and I'll just change that into pounds so you can see that. Now if I start doing any criteria in here, so if I put female for example and just bring that down for each row, you can see that automatically changed. Now you've got DSUM, I could do DCount, I could do DAverage. So basically any function that's got a D in it, you can use it like this, but you have to set it up with this criteria and database area. So if I'll do these two, equals DCount, open the bracket, the database is the same database as that, comma, I'm going to do the same column, which is a salary column, comma, and then the criteria area is this area at the top, and then I'll just tick that and it'll tell me how many there are. There's 9, and then last but not least equals DAverage, open the bracket, select the database, comma, put the field in there, comma, and then the criteria like that, tick, and that'll give you the average. And I'll put that into money as well. So you can see the average is that. If I get rid of these 3 F's, that'll give me the total of the whole thing and the average of the whole thing. And if you highlight these figures, you can see the average down here. It's 26,000, same as that one there. So that's all I want to talk about in this little video. How you can use advanced filters, the subtotal functions, and the DSUM, DAverage, DCount functions to pull data off or pull information off a list. So hopefully that video was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.